Hey, what's up guys, TechTine here, and I am back again with a brand new video. So before I begin this one, as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my content. If you enjoy my videos, make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. In the description below, I do have a couple of links. So I have my Instagram, my Facebook page. Follow me there if you want to kind of reach out to me, and if you have any questions or anything like that, I'll help you answer them over there. With that being said, today we're going to be reviewing the camera or the cameras on the Motorola Moto G5G 2022. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk about the camera specs. So you have a triple camera setup, and the way that they decided to design it is that it's kind of cool actually. So if you reflect it under direct sunlight, you have this kind of cool rainbow effect. But the camera specs are the following. So you have a triple camera setup, a main sensor of 50 megapixel camera, which is really the only thing that you should be worried about. And you also have two other cameras that are essentially useless. So you have a macro lens and a depth sensor. And also, if you turn the phone to its side, the camera does protrude slightly, and it's nothing crazy. So it shouldn't bother a lot of people. However, either way, I do recommend the case on the phone. Okay, so now as far as the camera interface, the best method and the only implemented method that I've really enjoyed when launching a camera is the twist of the wrist. So the camera app and the camera interface itself is as simple as it gets. So it's really foolproof. So pretty much turn on the camera app by flicking your wrist, and taking pictures is almost instant. So it's fast and it's quick, and like I said, it's really foolproof and easy to use. Now let's talk about the important thing, which is image quality and video quality. Let's start with image quality. Photos that come out of this camera under bright outdoor conditions are nice. So Motorola doesn't really go overboard when it comes to high dynamic range, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But the colors that come out of it are fairly balanced, right? It does have detail, it does have sharpness, but they're kind of washed. And maybe because I've reviewed so many Samsung camera devices that I'm used to the saturation, but they are a little bit washed, and in some scenarios the pictures do come out a little bit overexposed. So that's kind of a weak link. Now as far as detail, it's fairly decent, right? So it does like to show a little bit of detail. It's not overly detailed though, but again, it's decent. And colors are okay. Like I said, they're just a little bit washed. If they were slightly oversaturated, not oversaturated, but if they were slightly saturated, then it will make the picture pop a little bit more. You can do that in post-editing. Now, as far as the dynamic range goes, it surprisingly does a good job balancing the image. So again, slightly washed to my taste. However, the trees are there, so you can see the color in the trees. They're not really dark, and the sky is fairly blue, and the clouds are nice and fairly detailed. So definitely get a thumbs up from me on the dynamic range. Moving on to indoor photography, which have artificial lights, meaning that your picture quality is going to take a hit. So the colors are still washed, but they're more washed in indoors than outdoors. However, they're fairly usable, so they still get a pass from me. Now, when it comes to low light, this phone struggles, as with a lot of budget phones at this price range. So I'm not going to beat it in the head too much. Just know that low light is not the way to go with this device. Okay. Now, as far as the selfie camera goes, it does like to overexpose under bright sunlight conditions, but when you are in not so bright conditions, then it will do a better job, and the colors are a little bit washed. Similar story to the main sensor. So now moving on to video quality. So this camera is capable of shooting 1080p video, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not really that good. It looks like an upscale 720p, and it's just the colors are not good, and the focus is horrible. So when you try to focus on a subject, it likes to hunt around a lot, and when it almost tries to get the subject in focus, then it will blow up the background, just overexposes it, which is not that good. So if you're looking to make this phone a camera video, if you want to start like a YouTube channel or you want to use it for videos mainly, it's not the way to go. There are a couple of other options that I'll leave in the description below. So with that being said, though, I mean, I don't want to beat this camera too hard, just because this is, at the end of the day, a budget-friendly phone that the camera I don't think was their first priority. So Motorola really, the goal behind this phone, to my understanding, is that they wanted to make a phone, an affordable 5G device, right? That covers the basics: a good screen, a fair camera, and a big battery. So they definitely covered those things, and I'm going to be talking about those more in my full review, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, the camera is usable, right? It's fine. The image quality under good sunlight conditions will be much better and much highly recommended than when you try to shoot indoors or even in low light. Okay. So with that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and there's more fun content coming really soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.